Okay. When I did my Mini 14 review, I briefly mentioned a couple of nightmare stories I heard, like one after the other, and I said we'll get to them in another video. Well, here we are. The range master told me that a week earlier, a guy had a 460 Magnum. Now, the 460 Magnum is the second most powerful handgun in the world today. It fires 45 long Colt, 454 Casull, and 460 Magnum. Now, and the next one up is the 500 Magnum, which shoots 500 Special and 500 Magnum. Now, there are two reasons for owning these monster magnums, as they call them, the big Jagunda fucking guns. First reason, killing very large animals. And when I say very large animal, I mean grizzly bear, rhinoceros, elephant. Okay, whether you're hunting or whether you're in the wilderness, you need protection from a wild animal that attacks you. These are the guns used to kill the largest animals on the face of this planet. Now, here in Westchester County, there's big cities, small villages, small townships, urban areas, suburban areas, golf courses, a little bit of wilderness, okay? And every once in a while we'll have a problem like a wolf or a coyote. Example, a couple months ago I was going home from work and I'm passing by the golf course and our unit's there. And I'm like, that's odd. And I got home, I found out there was a couple of fucking wolves in the area. One was killed by one of our cops, and they examined him, he had rabies. So, Westchester County, you can't really hunt in Westchester County. You gotta go upstate a little bit to hunt because nobody hunting around here. But as far as predatory animal control, the worst animal you'll see in Westchester County is a wolf or a coyote. That's about it. That will come from the wilderness, where the fuck they come from, but they'll come up. Now, coyotes, wolves, you can kill them with a 45 ACP. You can kill them with a 223. You can kill them with a 7.62 by 39. And you can kill them with a 20 gauge shotgun. Now, to put this into perspective, Baron Eric said a while ago, a little off topic, hold on it. There was a guy they knew. He was at his house taking a dump. And he must have been in an area where there's no neighbors. He must have been like a fucking wilderness area. But this guy's at his house, taking a dump. He looks out the window, sees a deer, draws his 45, and shoots the deer from his bathroom window. Now, in theory, you want to use like a 308 to kill a deer, but he used a 45 pistol to kill a deer, and the deer did die. So, in theory, that demonstrates the principle. Okay? If you have a monster magnum and you live in Westchester County, it either means A, you hunt way upstate, or Montana, or Alaska, or Africa. Okay? You have your monster magnum at your home in Westchester County, and you bring your monster magnum to ranges nearby to practice with, but you use your monster magnum when you go on hunting trips to other areas outside of Westchester. Or it means you're a big fucking idiot. This guy was the latter. Now, what he was doing was, he was, he was putting the monster magnum on single action, which brings the hammer back and leaves us with a 4-pound trigger pull. And he was pulling the trigger. Okay? Now, when you fire a monster magnum, that's a good idea because it's less drag, okay, and it's easier for you to recover. But what he was doing was he was hot dogging it. He was pulling back, firing, pulling back, firing, pulling back, firing. And I don't know what the barrel length was. I don't know what the load was. There's a couple different variations of barrel, a couple different variations of bullet weight, grain, all of the bullshit. But he's pulling, firing, pulling, firing, pulling, firing. And when you fire these monster magnums, you're supposed to pull, recover, pull, boom, recover, pull, boom, recover. Okay? You need a couple of seconds to recover your positioning. You can't just fucking pull it like a 22. Okay? And when you fire the monster magnums, you're supposed to start off with 38 special and go up. You're supposed to use every single revolver round from 38 special up. And when you use the monster magnums, you're supposed to start with a lighter bullet with a lesser powder charge and work up to a higher bullet, heavier bullet with a heavier powder charge. Okay, you work up to it. Okay, and you build up strength and dominance. I don't know if this was his first gun or what, but this guy was a real fucking jerk off. And as he's pulling, kind of pulling, boom, 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 he's up, and somewhere in the recovery, either between recoil and recovery, the gun fires again and knocks the rigging off, which costs $6,000 to repair. Now, Barry and Eric talk about that. If you pull the trigger and during recovery, your finger can actually hit the trigger again and it doubles up on you. So it goes boom, boom. Now, people have broken their wrists. People have hit themselves in the nose and broken their nose. People have hit themselves in the jaw, knocked out teeth, broke the jaw. People have been knocked unconscious. People have developed carpal tunnel. Okay, and if you lock your elbows too tight, Barry said, you can develop tennis elbow. And I'll put a link for Barry down below. One of Barry's older videos. Obviously, older video from Barry. And that's what happens. Now, if this individual had hurt himself, like if the gun had hit him in the face and broke his jaw, broke his nose, whatever the fuck, blah, blah, blah. Okay? The police would have had to been called. He would have been taken out in an ambulance. The police would have taken everyone aside, interviewed them. Police would have checked the camera because there was a surveillance camera there. And the range might have been closed for the rest of the day, if not a couple hours. And depending on the local ordinance, and the town of Mount Vernon is a Democratic town, a lot of liberals there. It's entirely possible there would have been a movement to shut the range down permanently. Now the range is owned by an FFL up top. You have an FFL on the street side, and then you go downstairs to the basement to the range. They're owned by the same company, same family rather. And yeah. Now what if these people had been killed? If they had been killed, the police would have been called. Range would have been shut down. Police would have taken everyone aside, statements, blah blah blah. It would have taken a couple of hours for the medical examiner to get there to remove the body. I don't know if the store would have been closed, but the range itself would have been closed. It would have needed to ask permission from the city to be open, and that permission would probably not be given. Okay. Now the other guy, the guy in the booth next to me was shooting the AR-15. He liked my Mini 14. That guy said he has a Mossberg Shockwave, and he knew a guy that fired not his Mossberg Shockwave, but a Mossberg Shockwave. Now the Mossberg Shockwave is a Mossberg 590 with a 14-inch barrel and a special bird's head grip. which means it's not an NFA item. It's one of those little fucking skirt things that skirts the NFA. So 5 and 12 gauge, and there's a 20 gauge version available. 5 and 12 gauge out of a very small gun with no buttstock is gonna hurt. And the pump does have a strap for your hand, and I don't know if the guy was holding that strap in like properly or if his hand slips around, but his hand went in front of the muzzle and blew up a couple fingers. Now you got a problem there. You're disfigured for life. Tying shoes, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, eating food is going to be entirely different for you now because you're missing a couple fingers. And most of the time you use a shotgun, you should have, according to NFA, at least 18 inches on the barrel, but this is one of those special skirt items. And I personally believe you should have a buttstock, because when you have a long gun, and my rifle's in the room so I can't get them now, but you have a long gun, secondary hand holds the front, primary hand holds the back where the trigger is, buttstock, the shoulder holds the buttstock, and the gun will recoil, and your arm will absorb a lot of the recoil. So subtract 4 inches from the barrel, make it a 14-inch barrel, put the bird head grip on it. Now you've got a much heavier recoiling gun, which is not an amateur's gun, that's an intermediate gun or a professional gun, and you need to have some stamina to withstand it. I'm not picking on girls, because I know girls that can shoot 500 mags, like Faye Destiny. Okay, Faye Destiny can shoot a 500 Magnum double action with a single hand. Okay, I don't want to pick on little, but there are some that, whether they're girls or boys, they can't control it. Okay, and when you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you fuck up. Okay, and let me tell you how easy it is to close a range here in Westchester County. I went over this before. I'll put a link down below. The outdoor range that I did my armed guard license at and shot my carbine when I first got it. That outdoor range had a longhouse. You go into the longhouse through the back. You ask for a cease. You walk out into the range itself. Put the target in a stationary holder. Go back. Open a window. Go back inside the longhouse. Tell them when it's okay. And you fire your bullet out of the window across the range into a target. If you point up and fire, you fire at the ceiling. Now, the back of the range is a hill. Above the hill is a rock face, a sheer rock face. Okay? Above the rock face is a fence, and behind that fence are houses. In order for you to get a bullet over the fence, okay, you have to take a rifle. And the range only allows pistol caliber carbines. And they allow the M1 carbine when you guys nasty. You have to take a rifle. Go outside onto the range itself. Aim straight up 90 degrees. The bullet has to go over the hill, over the rock face, over the fence level. The wind has to catch the bullet, push the bullet out, and someone has to be standing in the backyard of the house and get hit by the bullet. You could literally take 1 billion rounds of ammunition. 1 billion. And you could shoot all 1 billion rounds out of a rifle straight up. And that will not happen once. Okay? Now I thought there's a woman who said that she was shot in the leg while in her backyard. And I thought the woman lived in one of the houses up at the top of the hill with a ridge. And I'm thinking to myself, how could that happen mathematically? Well, guy at the range over here, guy that works at the Yonkers range, he used to work at that range many years ago. And he knows for a fact this woman lived 5 blocks away from the range. 5 blocks, at least. Okay? And he said, in order for you to shoot her, you gotta shoot up, and the bullet had to go across the street and turn this way and turn that way and turn that way. So let's have this meant, okay? A woman claimed she was in the backyard of her own house and was shot in the leg by a bullet fired from the gun range at the bottom of a rock quarry 5 blocks away. She called the police and filed an official police report against about it. Okay. She was not asked one question. Okay. No one asked her, how could the fucking bullet hit you in the leg in your backyard when you're 5 blocks away? Okay. I have a better chance throwing a rock out my window and the rock flying back and hitting someone in the head 5 times over. Okay, it's a mathematical, scientific impossibility. But they closed the range that had been opened in 1946. This property the range was on is owned by Con Edison, and the people that run the range pay $1 a year for rent. $1. And a range that had been open for close to 70 years at the time was closed down by force because a woman claimed she was shot in the leg in her backyard 5 blocks away. So if you're at a range and you blow your fucking fingers off or blow your head off, okay, that range can close very easily. Okay, plus you're fucked up for life or dead. Now I'm gonna put a link down below for Barry and Eric's video. And I know I mentioned this before. In the video, Barry whips out a Mossberg 88. You can tell it's an 88 because it's got the fucking crossbow safety, with a pistol grip and no buttstock. And he said there was a guy at range with one of those rifles, one of those shotguns rather. And the guy thought he was in a movie. Boom! Knocked himself out cold, left on a gurney. Because there's no recoil in that pistol grip. You need a buttstock. Okay? Didn't know what he was doing. Got in over his head. Got himself hurt. Okay? And the main focus of that video was a 25-year-old woman who weighed 95 pounds. And this woman, her boyfriend, I don't know if it was her first time shooting, but she was by definition an amateur shooter. And her boyfriend gave her a 500 Magnum. Okay? And when the bullet was fired during recoil, the bullet flipped 180 and her finger got caught in the trigger guard, and momentum just pulled the trigger again and blew her fucking head off and killed her. Obviously killed her. Okay, understand this about the Monster Magnums, okay? If you get shot with a Monster Magnum, the odds of you surviving is less than 10%. Okay? If you get shot with the Monster Magnum anywhere on your torso or head, you're dead. You are dead instantly. Dead. No question. Okay? If you're shot in your arm, the part of the arm that the Monster Magnum hits, especially if you're the one fucking with it and you shoot yourself by accident in close range, the part of the Monster Magnum, part of your body that's hit by the Monster Magnum is gonna disintegrate. That part is gonna be disintegrated by the bullet, and that's gonna cause bleeding, trauma, shock, infection, and your only chance of survival is getting it wrapped immediately, being sent to the hospital immediately, and having a world-class surgeon fix the wound as best they can. Because this will be gone. If you're hit here, this down here will be gone. And this will be just stubble and burnt shit. Okay? If you're hitting the leg, if it hits you in the thigh, it's gonna drill right to your fucking femoral artery and kill you immediately. Okay? If it hits you here, it's gonna rip this part of your body off entirely, and bone, muscle is gonna disintegrate it. Okay? And any veins that are here are gonna be fucked up permanently. So it's impossible to survive that shit, okay? Now Eric is a Second Amendment lunatic. Okay? Eric wants the NFA repealed. Eric wants the Hughes Amendment repealed. Okay? Eric even said that if a guy commits a non-violent felony and he's clean for a long time, he should have his gun rights restored. That's what Eric believes. And Eric believes that this individual that gave his girlfriend the gun should have been sent to prison. There were no charges filed, but he believes the individual should have been sent to prison. Now, do you know what it is when Eric, who was a Second Amendment absolutist, says that you should go to prison because of a mistake you made involving a gun? Okay, obviously Eric is against flat-out murder and robbery and shit like that, obviously. But for Eric to say that you are so fucking stupid, you should be sent to prison because of it, that says a lot. Okay, this guy should have been charged with reckless endangerment and possibly involuntary manslaughter, because either he knew or he should have known that an amateur person was completely incapable of controlling that gun, period. Okay? So these are examples of what happens when you fuck up at the range. Okay? You handle equipment you have no business handling. Okay? You have to know your limits. I'll tell you my limit right now. I can't use magnums. That revolver is my 45 ACP, 45 long Colt, 410 shot shell revolver. I cannot use magnums. I'll tell you why. Many years ago, my upstairs neighbor, she's across the block now. She's got a baby, big baby. You know, she's 5 years and 1 day younger than me. Okay. And one time, I was asleep. She was high school, I was college at the time, and I was asleep in my bed early in the morning. 10-foot ceiling, concrete, plus we have carpets on the floors. She got out of bed one morning and walked. Her apartment, her room is exact same layout as my room. Different floor plan. Whole apartment exactly. This girl got out of bed on that side of the room. She put her feet, her bare feet, on the carpet and walked from her bed to the closet. Do you know she woke me up? I was in a dead sleep, and when she walked barefoot from a distance of 4 feet, her first step woke me up. That's how good my hearing is. So when I hear a magnum go off, you can shoot any rifle you want with me, and you can shoot 12 gauge slug right next to me and I'll be fine. But the magnum bullet, when it flies, it breaks the sound barrier, and that bullet cringes me. I physically can't tolerate it. I mean, my ears can't tolerate it. So I cannot use magnums. That's my weakness. and I get firing 57 Magnum, I'm gonna ask to be put away from you. Like if you're shooting, if you're shooting 57 Magnum at the rifle range, which the range that allows it, the pistol range doesn't allow magnums. The wall isn't strong enough. But if we're at the rifle range and you're firing 57 Magnum, I'm gonna ask to be put away from you. I'm gonna say I gotta be away from this guy. It hasn't happened yet, thank God. But I would say, listen, man, I'm personal, but I gotta be put away from you. Or I might even say, listen, let me go outside and wait for him to finish up, because I can't stand the fucking magnums. My fucking ears, my fucking ears, even with the gear on, my fucking ears cringe. Because for me, it's amplified worse. Okay, so you got another limitation. Now this video is long enough as it is. Good night.